Hey, what's up, guys? Boxing with B.
Hey, what about the paycheck?
All right, so this weekend we saw a good amount of fights.
Yep.
So let's first start off with Povetkin versus Whyte.
That was a good one. Really
Pa-
good one.
Povetkin, everybody thought, oh man,
Well, he was the old man.
yeah, and then he went down twice.
Yes,
He
before.
went down twice, and then I had just said because Luis's grandpa was watching it, and he was like, "Man, I thought you said this Povetkin guy was good." I'm like, "He is," and he's like, "He just got dropped." I'm like, I know, but just wait, I don't know, maybe he's having an off night." And
The
then
first one looked like a
boom,
flash knockdown. The very first one was a flash. To me, it was a flash knockdown because he stunned him, yeah, and he hit him. He went down to one knee just because his body wasn't. He wasn't. He didn't. He didn't see the punch coming.
yeah,
So that's what it looked like. The first one.
yeah.
Second one, yeah, he dropped him.
And then he came back and was like, "Look, perfect punch. Let me show you how it's done."
But the thing was, when he went to his corner after the knockdowns, they told him he was okay. He goes, yes, yes, it was. I was just not. Basically, he was saying that it was a flash one, and the second one caught him,
Yeah,
but he was not out.
yeah,
So he came out with that uppercut he says that we're working on, and it looked like they were because he was testing him and watching him. And when White came to basically try to finish the fight, he hit him. He had him against the ropes, and he hit him perfect. White was out before he even hit the ground.
man, that was crazy.
Yep.
And then when they saw it too, they're like, "Oh, what was it? It was this, it was that." Like I forgot what punch they were trying to say it was, and then they showed the replay, and it was like, "No, that was a perfect uppercut."
Eddie Hearn's paycheck went down when he saw that. He thought Dylan White was going to walk through this guy. Oh, he's in perfect health. I mean, perfect health, yes, and he's in perfect, condition to fight.
Yeah.
He was in Portugal getting ready for this fight. Now he's here, so it's going to happen. Then after this, Joshua's not going to be able to do it. He's going to have to, fight for the belt.
But
But
Joshua's already beaten Povetkin.
yeah, but he's talking. He was talking about White,
Oh, oh, oh,
White.
oh.
They were
He was trying to
expecting.
I got
They
you,
were
I got
expecting
you.
Povetkin to get knocked out or
Yeah,
lose the fight.
yeah.
Their boy was White. White was the star of the show.
Isn't it crazy too that the fact that these fights were hosted in his backyard?
Yes. Well, England's different,
One, it's
so
like, "Dang, your backyard is that big?"
well, he has money, so he represents a
Yeah.
lot of great fighters that got belts this year. So
Well, I mean, I wish I could host fights in my backyard, but that's illegal.
not really.
You're gonna
Not if
what?
you're sanctioned. If they're sanctioned, you have someone from the board and a doctor. They
Well,
can't.
all right, then I guess I know the rules now.
They can't say nothing. It has to be
These promotions.
sanctioned by the California Athletic that you have all the safety precautions and everything.
Was it that undercard that was Katie Taylor's fight?
The girls that were undefeated, yeah,
Yeah.
yes, yes.
Man, and still
Yeah, well, the
undisputed.
first fight was a great one, and the first one would have been a lot. It was a little bit closer, I think.
Yeah.
This time, the girl that was doing really well, she was going after her, but not the same. Katie was there, more movement and everything.
Yeah.
It looked like
She
she
already
never
had
got hit.
oh my gosh, when I
That
saw
bump
their
on the
face,
head.
it's like one has a huge lump on her
Well, at the
face, the other
beginning,
one
Katie was doing okay, but it looked like a
Ay.
headbutt to me. But it could have been a punch. The other girl's a great fighter too.
I will say, if you missed that fight, go back and rewatch it because this guy doesn't really he doesn't get too excited over women's boxing like a lot of people don't. But this one, he was like, "Hey, it's these girls are fighting.
'Cause he
Remember
surprised
they
me.
gave a great performance the first time, and now it's the rematch."
And I thought it was good. At that,
Did they meet your
yes,
expectations
they
again?
did. They did. They did. Both girls did. The champion held her own. Everything, all the belts. She's undisputed.
Yeah,
And the other girl, went after her.
yeah,
I want those belts, but she kind of knew. Last time she thought she had won the fight. It could have been either way. It could have been a draw last time,
yeah.
but
So if
this
you were
time,
the judge, would you have said draw?
last one, yes.
And
They're
then
both.
this one, you're
This
like,
one, no.
Katie Taylor came
Yeah,
through.
she came back. She beat her fair and square.
You heard it. You heard
'Cause
it here from
She
this
moved a lot.
judge.
She moved a lot without getting hit. Yeah, the girl was throwing thousands of punches. A lot of them were not connecting,
Yeah.
but she was bringing the fight to her. But Katie was counter punching too.
Yeah. What I liked about this weekend's fights is that yeah, they were on different channels again, but this time the way it happened, it was like the White one was early, White
Because it was
versus,
out of England. So was it,
Povetkin, and then you had later on the Porter fight, like the main event wise, you had Porter, and then after that you tuned into Joe Smith Jr. and Alvarez, and it was all
that was a great fight.
consecutive. So first off, Porter versus Formella. I will say, I'm not gonna lie, I was a little bored.
I called it
I
a
was a
little
little
bit. I go,
bored.
don't count this guy out. He's undefeated. And Sean Porter brings it on when it's a big
He
fight. He
does.
brings it on. Well,
Yeah.
this was a big fight,
Yeah.
but it wasn't a big name. But now everybody knows this kid. that
This
went
kid
12
stayed.
rounds.
He
All
went
right.
all 12 rounds. Porter did put on a great performance. Everyone was saying stuff like talking crap about him. Oh, he went 12, but he didn't get the knockout. It's like,
No, it doesn't matter. The other guy's no chump. He's undefeated for a reason. German fighters are good.
yeah.
All
But
right, real
Porter
good.
isn't he known to go the distance?
Yes, he is. He's a
But
great
he's
fighter.
still
You can't say
exact. Yeah,
nothing.
yeah,
He's a
yeah.
great fighter.
When I was watching him, I had made this comment too. It's like he went into the 11th and he still comes in with all this energy, still looking like the first round. It's like, I think so many people take that for granted because if you actually step into a ring, it's so easy to talk smack outside of the ring, be like, oh my gosh, you can't knock him out.
But,
Oh my
they
gosh,
don't
what is he
realize
doing?
your hands get tied.
But
They wrap their hands. They put on gloves. Those things started getting heavy.
if you haven't boxed, I dare you to go even 2 rounds. By 1 round, you're already going to be tired.
Yeah.
2 rounds, you're going to be like, oh my gosh, how is this fight not over?
Yeah.
And then you see these fighters go in 11, 12 championship rounds, and they're like
And they're
still
getting hit.
looking like it's the first round. Yeah, you get hit in the arms, your arms are going to start dropping.
And then guess what? This 12 rounds of hitting, 3 minutes of going at it. So
Well, Porter came out with that victory. And then after that, tuning into Joe Smith Jr. versus, what was his name? Oh, yeah. Alvarez.
Alvarez, the guy who knocked out Kovala, and Kovala came back to regain his belt back. And then lost
I
it to
don't remember him
Canelo.
knocking him out.
Yes, he
Oh.
lost. He got knocked out by this guy. This kid nobody knew. Alvarez
Yeah.
came in the first fight. Kovala came thinking, I'm going to walk through this guy. And the guy surprised him, beat him.
Just like Joe Smith Jr., you were the one that was you were excited about
I
him
told
too.
you guys underestimate Joe Smith. Bivol went 12 rounds with him.
Yeah.
And Bivol didn't knock him out. And for a
Yeah.
while, he kind of stunned Bivol,
Mm-hmm.
but don't count this kid out.
That's
There's a
that,
reason
like,
why he did what he did to Hopkins.
every time he goes into a fight when he's like, let's see if he can get this or whatever, he does. He comes through. He puts on like great performances. Doesn't he remind you of the Cinderella Man?
Yes.
Because to me, he reminds me of
Construction
that.
worker that goes back and
Yes,
everything.
exactly.
Got his jaw broken twice and he still comes back.
He's a Cinderella Man of this generation.
Yeah, he's a great fighter to me. That's why I called it that he's who he won. He has his belts that Kovala had and everything. And he doesn't have that belt, WBC belt that Canelo won, or was it WBO? I'm not sure. I can't remember what belt. Oh, no, it was a WBO because that's what Kovala had, I believe.
Okay.
So that's
don't
why
know.
I called out if Canelo wants to cherry pick this kid. He's a kid that nobody knows.
Hey,
he
and
brings
he
a fight.
won.
He does bring a good show. Canelo could win, but
He has losses.
yeah, and you could go at it with him. This kid could hit. So I want to see. I know Canelo could take a punch, but from this weight class, a real puncher, I want to see that. Don't handpick your, fighters. Give a guy a chance like him. He deserves a chance. It doesn't have to be Canelo. It could be. Bivol beat him, but it could be the other chance. But
What
he could have
about
that
a
rematch.
rematch?
Yes, the rematch was
Jinx.
great. But he's a young kid out there that's still hungry.
Yeah.
Some of these fighters better watch out because this
Don't
fool-
underestimate this.
I should have
kid.
called him a fool. Alvarez, he's a great fighter too. Underestimated this kid. And
You know what
boom.
though? It did seem like Alvarez was starting to wake up, and I was like, oh man, he could actually turn this
But
fight
when he
around, and
fought
then he
Bivol-
didn't.
When he fought Bivol turned it up a lot of times, and this kid never left.
Yeah.
So that's what I was telling you guys. This guy is for real. A journeyman that nobody knows, that brings a fight to the champions and to anybody they put in front of him.
Well, that was a good weekend of fights. I'll
Yes,
say
it was
that.
good.
That was good. Now, this upcoming weekend, we have, we were going to see, it was supposed to be Linares versus Fortuna, but Linares tested positive for the coronavirus, so that bout is off.
You see, that's everywhere. So you never know no more. It could be good, it could be bad, but people have to watch. This coronavirus is for real, so their health better come first before anything.
Yeah, definitely. I
You know?
agree. But they're out. But we still have on Saturday, we have Victor Postol, the Ukrainian fighter. He's fighting against Jose Ramirez. Now, Jose Ramirez he's undefeated, okay, 25-0. He used to be in Freddie Roach's stable, right?
Yeah.
Now he's with Robert Garcia. Okay, and then he's facing Victor Postol, and I'm pretty sure Victor Postol was with Freddie Roach too.
I can't remember, but I just remember he's the one that stopped Lucas Matisse, knocked him out.
Yeah.
I didn't see that coming, so
And then he got beat by Terrence Crawford.
yeah. Well, Terrence Crawford's no joke.
But I mean, that should make for a good fight because Postol has said before he was quoted like I think last year saying, I'm ready for a bigger fight. I'm ready for a bigger fight, even if it's Jose Ramirez. And now look at here, we're here. That matchup's here.
Yeah.
25-0. Will he be the one to take away
No. I don't think so.
Dang, I
I'm
didn't even
going
get
for
to
the 20
finish
right
my
now.
sentence.
I'm going for the 25-0 guy.
25-0 guy has actually taken away other people's O's, including Antonio Orozco.
Yeah, I'm still gonna go. I'm going for the Robert Garcia's fighters. So far, they've been
So
more
with
than
you, if I take anyone's name and I'm like, oh, so and so, this guy, but he has Robert Garcia. You're gonna be
right
like,
now.
Robert Garcia's guy.
When Robert Garcia's fighters are great. They're all of them that I put in front of. They've won except for one got robbed. So
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah,
saying he got robbed. I don't care what they say. He got robbed.
that's right. He doesn't care what you think.
No, Rolly fights people. That's out there that's handpicked. I believe he, but he's coming up. He's a good fighter, but
He
not
has
in.
power,
He
but
wasn't good enough for that night. He
yeah.
had lost. A lot of my friends that love Rolly said, you know what? He lost fair and square.
They're team money team.
They're money team. I'm team money too, but some of these fighters that win
But
sometimes.
you know what? No, let's be real. You're not really the money team.
I'm
You're
the
just Mayweather.
Yes, the Mayweather.
Yeah, I agree with you.
You know,
Because I can't be like, oh, the money team, because I'm like,
it's Mayweather. Mayweather
But I'm
proved, like I said
Floyd
before,
Mayweather versus so and so. Floyd
saw him
Mayweather.
when he came out of the Olympics and went on to become pro. Saw him when he fought Chiquita Hernandez for the WBC, and I saw him knock out, TKO over McGregor. I saw him from the beginning to the end, even from his first retirement when he retired and came back. He came back to beat up the guy from England, Ricky Hatton.
Yeah.
Because Hatton was talking, he left because he's scared, and then Ricky got lit up. And the truth about the money team, he was supposed to be retired. Well, he lit him up and knocked him out.
Well, let me ask you this. We talk about Floyd Mayweather. He's a retired fighter, but another fighter that was in that era, I guess, Oscar De La Hoya is announcing that he's coming back.
Oscar's a little bit too old, but I don't care. Oscar made me a lot of money. He could take the fights. He could beat some of these guys because some of these guys duck everybody.
Name someone that you think he could beat.
That's up there. Who? Like at that weight class? I don't
even know. What weight class would he come in at?
That's what I'm saying too. You have to think about it. He was at the 140s right before he retired. Because he fought Pacquiao and all those guys. They're fighting at 130, 140. He could fight Pacquiao again.
Oh,
and this time take him. This time he'll take him.
Come on. Pacquiao's still training. He never really retired. He's still been in the ring. He's fighting young guys, and then
He's fought one young guy, I think. He beat
Thurman.
Yeah, but Thurman took
that was that was embarrassing. I did not expect that performance from Thurman.
Thurman took him too lightly.
I think that was one of those where you're fighting a big name and you just change your fighting style to you know how everybody was like, when they fight Floyd Mayweather, they fight a different fight instead of fighting their own. Unless you're Maidana, who was like, I'm fighting my style.
Mayweather knows how to move. He knows how to adjust. Because when Mosley came out and socked him, Mosley stunned him. He changed it around and he beat Mosley.
Yeah.
So.
But that's what I'm saying. Is
you can't count the greatest out. That guy was the greatest. Greatest defense, greatest mind, getting into people's minds. Knew how to fight, knew how to box, knew how to move. But he would have been great in his time versus Lomachenko. That would have been a hell of a fight. Dang.
Imagine if that fight actually.
Two defensive fighters at their primes.
Okay, let's picture it. All right, let's close your eyes.
I don't know who I would take in that fight.
Picture that fight.
That'd be crazy.
Let's just picture them being the same weight class.
They would have been in the same
age. All right. And the fight is happening. Who are you taking? Floyd. Not you.
Back if they first started, if Lomachenko straight out of the Olympics and going at, I would take, even though I love Floyd, I would have took Lomachenko.
Dang, I would take Floyd.
Floyd, it was great. He was an Olympian, but he wasn't a two-time gold medalist. He was great. He was a great defensive fighter, the best I've ever seen. But a really young Lomachenko would have been a hell of a fight. I think Lomachenko might have pulled it. Back when they first started, if there were both of them rookies, I think because Floyd got eliminated from the Olympics. I think he was robbed, but still, he didn't bring out that gold.
Yeah, well, I still take Floyd, so I think I would have won.
In the prime, I don't think so.
I think I would have won.
Lomachenko would have been out of his way, too. He would have been swinging, and he wouldn't have been there in front of him exact same way. He would have gone out of the way and got young Mayweather would have do that shoulder roll, but you would have seen Lomachenko throwing punches. If you can't hit, you can't see what you can't hit.
That goes both ways.
That's what I'm saying. Lomachenko still stands in front of you and moves and hits. He doesn't do a shoulder roll.
Okay, but do you think that would be his flaw, like Pacquiao? Pacquiao's fast, but he stands in front of you. And look what happened to him.
Pacquiao's a different story. He was
I
taking
think I won that match right now.
to me, he was taking too much stuff that kind of
Point B.
couldn't hit, hit it away because that was kind of funny when a lot of things changed. He got knocked out.
That's just his accusation of
Yeah.
Pacquiao using
Well,
some help.
he won sometime when he was following Floyd. He was Catholic. Then he said it was against their religion to give blood out. Why was he so scared to find out what was in his blood?
Wait, that's
He
not illegal. I mean,
It's
that's not
not
against
illegal, but
Catholic
he was
religion.
saying it then.
Yeah. But just for the record, it's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
against Catholic
Well,
religion.
no, it's not against our religion. He's other religions, yes.
Yeah, but he was Catholic.
Yes, he was Catholic then.
Mm,
But then he switched. So
story's
who knows?
not adding up.
People, yes, sir. They're not adding up. So we'll see what happens. Something to think about. If anybody, you historians, what would you think of that? Two young fighters in their primes. Just like that.
Are you Team B with Floyd Mayweather
just
Jr.?
like that movie that we saw with
Or are you Team Loser, A-Rod
Rocky.
without the paycheck?
the Rocky remix where they put, we're going to put the champion in with a cartoon figure and look who won it. That would have been great to put those two together. Never know. Lights out.